Today, we're jumping into a short but honestly incredibly powerful poem by Kamala Das. It's a journey that starts with something as simple as a car ride and ends with one of the most heartbreaking goodbyes you'll ever read. Right away, the poem hits you with this. This is the image that just stops you in your tracks. It's not just a description, right? It's that sudden, cold shock of realization. This one line sets the entire emotional stage for everything that's about to unfold.
So, where does a thought like that even come from? Well, the setting is actually pretty ordinary. The poet, Kamala Das, is just driving from her parents' house to the airport. Her mother, who's 66 years old, is sitting right there in the passenger seat next to her.
So as they're driving, she just glances over at her mother, and what she sees is this incredibly vulnerable picture. Her mom is sleeping, her mouth is open, and her face, it just looks completely drained of life, pale, gray. And this is the moment right here that triggers everything. And this is that gut punch moment of clarity. You know, it wasn't just that her mother looked old. The real pain came from realizing that no, the appearance matched the reality. The thought of mortality, of her mother's age, it all just hits her at once. And it's a thought so painful, she immediately tries to shove it away. So, what do you do? How do you escape a thought like that when you're literally trapped in a car? Well, the poet does something really clever. She creates this sharp contrast between the quiet, aging world inside the car and the vibrant, chaotic world rushing by outside. And check this out. Inside the car, you've got this image of stillness, of decay. But outside, the world is just bursting with energy. The trees look like they're sprinting past the car, and kids are spilling out of their homes. What a great image of just joyful, uncontrollable life. It's our way of desperately trying to look at anything else besides the painful truth sitting next to her. But, a distraction like that can't last forever. The drive ends. They get to the airport. And after the security check, when the poet is physically separated from her mother, she just can't avoid that feeling anymore. So now there's this physical distance between them, just a few yards. And in this quiet moment of separation, she takes one more look at her mom, almost bracing herself for what she's going to see.
And wow, here we get another unforgettable image, a late winter's moon. Just think about what that feels like. It's usually hazy, right? It lacks brightness, it feels cold, distant. It is the perfect way to capture that fading vitality she sees in her mother. And just so we're clear, that word wan, it simply means colorless or pale. It just doubles down on that image of life and vibrancy slowly draining away, kind of like the weak light of a winter moon. Now, this image of the moon is doing more than just describing her mother's appearance. Oh no, it triggers something much deeper, something much older inside the poet herself. And here it is. This is the real heart of the poem. The ache she feels in that moment isn't new. It's the same fear she's had since she was a little kid, that deep, fundamental fear of being separated from her mother, of losing her. It's this universal terror that just comes rushing back. So, faced with this overwhelming fear, this deep sadness, what does she do? I mean, what can you possibly say or do in a moment like that? Her reaction is what makes the end of this poem so incredibly haunting. She just offers a simple farewell, see you soon, Amma, and a smile. But is it really that simple? Is it just a goodbye? Or is there something way more complex going on just beneath the surface? That smile is doing so much work. It's a mask, hiding her terror. It's a shield, trying to protect her mother from her own pain. And it's this desperate act of reassurance, not just for her mom, but for herself, trying to convince them both that everything is going to be okay, even when she's terrified that it won't be. The repetition here is everything. It's not one easy, casual smile. It's smile and smile and smile. This just shows the enormous effort, the strain, the sheer willpower it takes to hold that expression on her face, while inside, her heart is absolutely breaking. Okay, so let's step back for a second, because how the poem is written is just as important as the words. The structure itself reveals so much about the poet's state of mind. Believe it or not, this entire poem, from that first glance in the car all the way to that final strained smile at the airport, is written as one single sentence. So why do that? Well, it's brilliant, really. It perfectly mimics how our minds work when we're completely overwhelmed by one single thought.
It's a continuous, unbroken stream of consciousness, flowing from observation to memory to fear, all without a single period to let you pause and take a breath. The form perfectly reflects the feeling. And this poem is just a perfect example of what made Kamala Das such an amazing writer. This quote really says it all. She takes this deeply personal, complex, and painful moment and captures every subtle little detail in a way that feels both beautiful and profoundly real. So this is where the poem leaves us, with the image of that brave, painful smile. And it can't help but make you think, right? How often do we do that in our own lives? How often do we put on a brave face and offer a simple smile to hide a whole world of worry and love and fear? It's a question that really stays with.
Prepared by K. Rajendra Prasad.